Salutations, YouTube. It has been a while. Did you miss me? Hope not. Anyway, today's my birthday, so I'm waiting for you to say happy birthday, then we'll get on with the video. Thank you. So, different style of video today. We're not going to be talking about serial killers or mass shooters or whatnot. I will get back into them one day, just not today. Instead, I'm going to be telling you 3 allegedly true scary stories. I read through all of them, and I won't lie, all of them gave me the chills. So without further ado, get yourself a drink, get yourself a snack, make yourself comfortable. So, the first one is written in the first person, as is the last one. So I'm going to read it from their perspective. I am 22 and this incident happened a year and a half ago. I had just moved into my first apartment and was in the process of moving in. The door that led into my apartment locks itself automatically when closed. I was going to the entrance of the apartment complex to get my mail while talking on the phone with my boyfriend. I returned to my apartment and sat on the bed while opening the mail while using the phone. I dropped the phone on the floor and it landed under the bed, so I had to lie on the floor to stretch for it. As I did, I saw something that caught my eye. There was a man under my bed. My eyes widened and I choked the urge to scream. The person under my bed was lying still with his back towards me and his head to his chest, so I couldn't see his face. And he didn't see me. Trying to be rational while so many thoughts rushed through my head, I picked up the phone, said, "Sorry, I dropped my phone. I'm just going to take a shower and I'll call you right back." The bathroom is right by my bed, so I hastily walked in, quietly locked the door, turned the shower on, and jumped out of my window as my apartment is on the first floor, and I called the police. They told me to wait nearby, but go across the street to see if anyone comes out of the door to the apartment complex. This was during the summer and it was still light out. I placed myself across the street, hiding behind a car while watching my open bathroom window and the entry door. I called my boyfriend and he came to me just before the police. I gave them my keys and they went inside. Only moments later, 2 cops came out holding a thin and tired-looking man. His eyes looked crazy, but he didn't try to get away. The policeman that had stood beside me and comforted me while the police searched through my house told me that the man was waiting outside my bathroom door with one of my kitchen knives, waiting for me to come out. He had somehow crept in my entry door while I was getting my mail and hid under the bed. The man that was trying to hurt me turned out to be a homeless person and was placed in a mental hospital. My boyfriend moved in with me the very next day. So that's the first story. What did you think of that? Let me know in the comments below. Sorry, I've got a little bit of a tickle. Second story now. One cold winter night, there was a teenage girl called Katie and she was home alone. Her parents had gone out to a dinner party. It had been snowing all day but had recently stopped. After studying for a few hours, she decided to relax a little bit. She made a snack, got a thick blanket and settled down to watch TV in the living room. To put it into context, just so you can picture it in your head, the TV was positioned in front of the one side of a glass door that led to the patio, which then led to the back garden. By midnight, Katie's parents still hadn't come home and she was gripped with fear, because in the corner of her eye, she could have sworn that she caught the glimpse of a very strange-looking man staring at her, standing behind the glass door through her TV. Terrified, she grabbed her phone, pulled the blanket over her head and called the police, which I don't get with horror films. Why do they pull the blanket over their head? Because that then, whatever's scaring you could be anywhere. Anyway, as luck would have it, there was a patrol car not too far from her house. In a few minutes, the police arrived at the scene and told her that the stranger outside could not have been there because it had snowed all day and there were no footprints. But just in case, they had another look around to make sure. They told her that she's probably just really tired and her imagination is probably playing tricks on her and she's probably scared because she's home alone. She started to feel relieved, but still a little bit shaken up. I mean, obviously, I think I would. The police officers are about to leave and one of them stopped and noticed something behind the sofa she was sitting on. When he went to inspect what he noticed, his jaw dropped and his face went pale. Katie noticed the officer's reaction and went to look as well. She saw what made the officer react that way. There were wet footprints on the carpet behind the sofa. It turned out she hadn't seen the man's reflection from outside the door. She had seen his reflection from when he was standing behind her. Now, when I first read that story, I got a bit of goosebumps. Not gonna lie, it was pretty creepy. I'm sorry. Now the last one is another first-person perspective. I can't fucking speak. This is from a first-person perspective, and allegedly is true. It's amazing how little I think I've read it. I was a young man living in the north of England, Yorkshire, to be precise. My fucking lad, I'm also from Yorkshire. I just started dating a girl from Leeds. I'm changing that. I just started dating a girl from Bradford, a few good miles away from me. I was pretty engrossed with this girl, as she was my first. So I missed the last bus home, and I had to walk, as her family were 100% dead against me spending the night. So I set off at around 11 p.m. I lived about 7 miles away, so I had at least an hour's walk home. I started hitchhiking, or trying to hitchhike, but there wasn't much traffic, but I lived in hope. Pardon me. I'd been walking for about 20 minutes when I heard a car in the distance behind me. I stuck out my thumb and I prayed. The car stopped and the front passenger door popped open. I should explain I had fairly long hair back then and wore it in a ponytail. So I climbed into the car and the driver just stares at me for a good 10 seconds. His first sentence was, "I thought you were a girl." Which wasn't quite as weird as it sounds, but he did seem to be a bit peeved a spotty teenage lad got in his car instead of a girl. He asked where I was off to, so I told him it was the next village. It was on his way and wasn't a problem. A quick 10-minute car journey. Anyway, he started chatting about mundane stuff, football mainly. Then he asked if I had a girlfriend and had I fucked her that night. With that, he tried to grab my hand, laughing and asking to sniff my fingers. I was getting really freaked out at this. I was quite a naive young lad back then. He then proceeded to tell me about his last girlfriend and how he'd raped her that night because she wouldn't give him sex. I tell you, all I wanted to do was get the fuck out of that car. My village was fast approaching, and at my road's end I asked him to stop and drop me off, which thankfully is what he did. As I got out, he said, "You're a lucky lad. There's a lot of nasty bastards out there who'd have robbed you and took you for a ride." I mumbled my thanks and legged it home like the devil was chasing me. I was so scared. 2 years later, I saw the bloke who gave me a lift on the national news. He had been charged with murder, multiple counts of murder of several young women around my area. Thankfully, he's dead now, and he's the reason I stopped hitchhiking. His name was Peter Sutcliffe, better known as the Yorkshire Ripper. What do you think of that one then? Now, you know me, I love anything serial killer stuff. I don't love serial killers, I just love learning about them, as it gives me content. Thank you, Wikipedia. No, I'm joking. I own books on serial killers. quite a few actually. Too many than I'm comfortable having. But yeah, let me know what you thought of these stories. Let me know which one you thought was more creepy, first, second, or third, and let me know if you want me to do this again. I already have some lined up, so if you want to do that, if you want me to do that, let me know in the comments. Or if you want me to get back on my true crime stuff, or venturing out to other things to talk about, again, let me know in the comments. Alright, so that's going to do it for this video. If you liked it, please leave a thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe. So until next time, peace.